Boys, welcome to Vintage Throne Stadium for season number 21 of Barrie Baycats baseball. Tonight's Area County Baseball League game features the visiting Brantford Red Sox and your Barrie Baycats. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Brantford Red Sox, managed by Rick Pomerleau. Batting first, the center fielder, number 20, Jesse Fishbaum. Batting second, the shortstop, number 28, Troy Banks. Batting third, the first baseman, number 25, Nick Burnett. Batting fifth, batting fourth, the right fielder, number 32, Liam Sutherland. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 18, Colton Fountain. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 21, Spencer Jameson. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 48, Jarrett Lupton. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 84, Nolan Gallagher. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 31, Aiden Colangelo. Pitching tonight for the Red Sox, number 5, Garrett Larder. And now, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, put your hands together, make some noise. Here's the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Jack Techno. Batting first, the center fielder, number 15, Jay Wilson. Batting second, the right fielder, number 25, Juan Padilla. Batting third, the first baseman, number 28, Holly Williams. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 8, Randy Infante. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 3, Larson Burns. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 17, Brandon Ollie. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 49, Dylan Shepard. And batting ninth, the second baseman, number 14, Owen Jansen. The starting pitcher tonight for your Barrie Baycats, number 35, Riley Hoover. Here are the umpires for tonight's contest at Vintage Throne Stadium. Calling the balls and strikes, we have Jeff Rose. At first and second base, Isaac Zwazik. And at third base tonight, Chris Walters. Fans, could you please rise if you are able to tonight and kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
It's a beautiful day at Vintage Throne Stadium. Welcome to the ballpark for a July matchup between the Brantford Red Sox and the Barrie Baycats. These two teams are facing off for the second time this season. Baycats won the first matchup 13-2. I'm Patrick Melbourne. Welcome to Baycats TV. The Baycats were in London last night and the game did not go the way they had planned. Owen Boone was brilliant for the Majors and the home team won 7-0. Baycats, they've still won 6 of their last 10, though, and the team has been helped by some hot bats in those wins. Carson Burns has reached base 3 times in his last 4 of his last 5 games, and Juan Familia has 5 extra base hits in his first 4 games as a Baycats player. Let's take a look at the Brantford Red Sox now. This team is in Barrie for the first time this season. The last matchup between these two teams was in Brantford. Jesse Fishbaum will be leading things off. He is the center fielder, and then Troy Banks, the shortstop, batting second. Batting third, Nick Burdett, the first baseman. Then Liam Sutherland, the right fielder, is batting fourth. Colton Fountain, the catcher, batting fifth. Spencer Jameson, the left fielder, batting sixth. Then Jarrett Lupton, the third baseman. Nolan Gallagher, the second baseman. And Aiden Colangelo is the DH, batting ninth in his first IBL game. Riley Hoover is the pitcher for the Baycats, left-handed pitcher. And he's 1-1 this season. His ERA a little bit higher than you would expect based on the way he has pitched. 10.32 on the season. It's 9.58 over his last 2 years with the Baycats. But he's had some good outings in there. It's just a couple of them did not go the way he wanted, so it's a little bit higher overall. Third start of the year for Riley. 4th game overall. Pitched just short of 12 innings. And this is his first start of the year against the Brantford Red Sox. Great to have you with us here on Baycats TV. Just about ready to get things started. Jesse Fishbaum at the plate, facing off against Riley Hoover. And the first pitch of the afternoon is in there for a strike, and we are underway. Fishbaum hitting .231 this season with a .310 on base average, .231 slugging. He went 0 for 5 in that last game between Barrie and Brantford in Brantford. Pitch by Hoover is on the ground weakly, and it's going to be foul. First inning, by the way, brought to you by Starting Lineup Uniforms and Apparel, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here. So Fishbaum, Banks, and Nick Burdett. The lineup not too dissimilar to the way it looked when the Red Sox and the Baycats faced off last time, as that one's on the ground, third base side. Cauley doing a good job to run at it, throwing on to first, and there's one away. Cauley ran in and did a really good job to field that ball and got it to Malik Williams really quickly. Let's take a look at the full Baycats defense, left to right in the outfield. It'll be Brantford and Fonse in left, Jake Wilson in center, and Juan Familia is in right. Third baseman is Brendan Cauley. Shortstop today is Carson Burns. Second baseman is Owen Jansen. And the first baseman is Malik Williams. Behind the plate, Dylan Shepard making his first start at home, catching Riley Hoover. Troy Banks swinging at the first pitch as we get it on the screen there for you. Good arms in center, left and right actually. Really good speed in center with Jake Wilson. Dylan Shepard making his first home start. We saw him yesterday in London. This is Troy Banks, as that one's in the dirt. Banks joined the team a little bit later in the year. He joined it on June 14th and has made a really noticeable impact for these Red Sox. He's hitting .286, has a .412 on base average, and last time Barrie faced him, not only was it one of his first games with the team, as that one is hit to left center field. Moving over is both Wilson and Infante. It's going to be Infante calling off Wilson and making the catch for the second out. Banks had 2 hits and 2 walks in that game, so keeping him off the base pass like they did right there is important.
First baseman number 25, Nick Burdett.
You talk about guys who have been in the IBL for quite some time and made a huge impact. You look at Nick Burdett. Not only was he a part of that Brantford dynasty team that was so good for so long, but he has just been around in this league for so long that it's almost impossible to not know his name. Fouls it off the bottom of the bat there. Burdett celebrated his 1,000th IBL at-bat on June 22nd against Kitchener. And that is an accomplishment that I'm sure he holds highly. They've all been with the Red Sox too, as the lefty delivers, and that one is inside. They've all been with the Red Sox. So Brantford Red Sox fans, they've been dealing with a lot of change this year. And if you're a Red Sox fan listening from Brantford, you know that. It hasn't all been smooth, and it's been a lot of change, but Burdett has been a consistent quality player for the Red Sox. That one's hit up the middle. Carson Burns has got it, throws on to Williams, and that'll end the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Riley Hoover on the mound. We head to the bottom of the first. You're watching on Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium for the bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the Barrie Baycats starting lineup. Jake Wilson back in the leadoff spot for the Baycats, as he was actually in the 5 spot yesterday. We don't often see him in the middle of the order, but he's back up there at the top of the order now. Juan Familia up to the 2 spot. Noel McGarry-Doyle not in the batting order today. And then Malik Williams is batting third, playing first base. Ryan Rio, the DH, in the cleanup spot. Then Brantford Infante, the left fielder. Carson Burns is the shortstop. Then Brendan Cawley, the third baseman. Dylan Shepard is the catcher. Owen Jansen batting ninth. He's the second baseman. So here's Wilson. And the first pitch is down and in. Home plate umpire is Jeff Rose. Isaac Zipchuk is the first base umpire. And Chris Walters is the third base umpire. Garrett Larner kicks, throws, and it's up and in. Garrett Larner is 0-2 this season with a 7.50 ERA. He's pitched 12 innings. Again, one of those guys that joined a little bit later, joined actually the same day as Troy Banks. Check swing, he went, and the count is 2-1. Larner has 8 strikeouts in 12 innings, also has 12 walks in that time, so he's averaging a walk an inning, which is higher than he'd like it to be for sure. 19 hits as well. Here's a pitch from Larner. There's another strike, and it's even at 2. Larner actually saw these Baycats as a hitter last time. It's his only game so far in the IBL as a hitter. He went 0 for 4. And now he gets to see them as a pitcher. 2-2. On the ground, moving in is the second baseman, but Wilson is going to be out at first. An impressive play right there at second base by Nolan Gallagher. I thought he'd be a little bit late, but he managed to get it to first in time, and Wilson is retired, 1 away. He was going in, and Wilson was going down the line so fast, I was like, no way he's going to be able to get him, and he proved me wrong. So here's Juan Familia, and Familia has been one of the best hitters on the Baycats in the 4 games since he's joined the team. First pitch to him is up high. He has 3 doubles and 2 home runs. And we were looking at this a few days ago. You can watch them on the Baycats social media feeds. The 2 homers and first 2 doubles. There's a big swing and a miss from Familia. Count now 1-1. And then yesterday in London, he had another big double. There wasn't a lot of offense in that game in London last night. But Familia was on base twice again. Here it comes. And that one's low. Gets away from the catcher, but it doesn't have an impact. Nobody's on base. And just the way this batting order has changed today with no Noel McGarry-Doyle and no Royce Ando, who were the top 2 hitters yesterday. Familia was in the 6th spot yesterday. Now he's in the 2 spot today. 2-1s outside. So it's a very different look for the Baycats compared to that game. And judging by the score yesterday, it's not all that surprising to see a bit of a different look, but it's also just a couple of different players in the order. 3-1 coming up. And that is strike 2. Familia trying to sell it, but the umpire calling it a strike all the way, and it's full 3-2. Malik Williams is on deck. Kicks and throws. Big swing and a miss from Familia. He's down on strikes. First strikeout for Garrett Larner, and there are 2 away. Let's give you the lineup just one more time on the screen. Just catching you up on it. So Wilson, Familia, Williams, Rio, Infante, Burns, and then Colley, Shepard, and Jansen. And then we just take a look at Familia, who was just batting there, has been red hot. So here's Malik Williams in the 3 spot, one of the guys who has been in that cleanup spot, 3 spot, back and forth over the last few games. Today, moving up a spot in the order, switching with Ryan Rio. First pitch to him is a strike. Cano 1 to him. Pitch comes home, and that is outside. Williams reached base twice yesterday with a couple of singles. Had a big single in the 2nd inning that almost looked like it would be extra bases. And then had a single in the 9th, which started a rally. On the ground to short. On a bounce, throw over to first is going to pull him off the line. It gets by the first baseman as Nick Burdett goes out to get that one. Troy Banks just didn't get to that one quite quick enough, and Malik Williams is safe on first. He's the first base runner of the game.
The designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio.
It's an infield single for Malik Williams, and that'll bring up the fan favorite, Ryan Rio. Rio walked and singled yesterday. Just looking back at that 9th inning, the Baycats actually loaded the bases. As that one's on the ground to Banks. On a bounce, takes a tricky bounce. He steps on the bag to get the lead runner, and that's all they'll need. Fielder's choice ends the inning. And after 1, the Baycats and the Red Sox are scoreless here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Back in a moment, right here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Riley Hoover got through the first inning on only 9 pitches as he takes his final warm-up toss there. Second inning brought to you by BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com, your community, your news.
Your news. Hitting off the second inning for the Red Sox, the right fielder, number 32, Liam Sutherland.
So here's Liam Sutherland, the right fielder. Right-handed stance against the left-handed Riley Hoover. As we're back underway here, first pitch to Sutherland is a strike. Liam went 2 for 4 in the game in Brantford that these two teams played, hitting .267 on the season, a .323 on base average. He also has a home run. Not a lot of home runs hit by these Brantford Red Sox this year, as that is low. I actually called that game in Brantford on Baycats radio, and it was a game that was fairly close for most of it, but then the Baycats just kept adding runs. There's a swing and a miss. The final score was not close, 13-2. Hoover ready on the mound. That was Evan Souls starting that game against Bennett Moore. 1-2. On the ground to Carson Burns at short. Fields it, throws on to first, and the throw is way high. And that's going to be an error on Carson Burns. Sutherland reaches, and that's the first base runner for the Red Sox.
The catcher, number 18, Colton Fountain.
So it's an error on the shortstop, and this is Colton Fountain. Fountain, the catcher for this Red Sox team today. Not a guy who plays a lot of catcher, at least isn't listed as primary catcher. But Lucas Bateman not in the lineup today, neither is Jacob Reed. Couple of new faces in this Brantford batting order, including Aiden Colangelo, who is the DH, batting ninth and playing his first IBL game. Fouled left side. Riley Hoover started this season really strong. As we look at our brand new picture-in-picture in the top right of your screen, taking a lead is Liam Sutherland. But the last couple appearances have not been nearly as kind to Riley. Pitch outside. So he's looking to get back to that early season form and become a strong part of this rotation. 1-2 coming up. And that is hit to right field. That one's going to get down for a base hit. Fielding it is Familia. He's going to keep it from going too far, and Sutherland moves up to second. First two base runners reach against Riley Hoover in the second. Colton Fountain with a single.
21, Spencer Jamison.
So here is Spencer Jamison. That was not hard contact. Neither of the two base runners have been hard contact. The first was an error on a grounded ball. The second one was weak contact to shallow right field. Baycats playing double play depth now, especially Malik Williams at first. Williams is a good first baseman. He's a guy who will cover the bag on potential pickoff attempts as Hoover steps off and now trying to get on the same page as Dylan Shepard, the catcher. Shepard playing in his second game with the Baycats. Was previously a bullpen catcher for the team. I believe the youngest member of the team right now, Dylan Shepard. Guy who's really happy to be with the team. Showing bunt and popping it up on the left side is Spencer Jamison, but it's going to go foul. Count 0-1. You might see the bunt continue throughout the at-bat, but remember, if he bunts it foul on 2 strikes, that is strike 3. Jamison was 0 for 3 the last time these two teams faced off. He's only hitting .200 on the season. And he shows bunt again. This time the ball goes low, and it will be called a ball, 1-1. Just trying to get the bunt down and advance these runners. There's one in scoring position now. He's hoping to get both of them there. And that one is going to be fouled straight back on a bunt, 1-2. 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Fans clapping for Riley Hoover on the mounds. Lefty-lefty matchup with Spencer Jamison at the plate. Here it comes. And that's hit right up the middle. That's going to get down and go to the outfield. Jake Wilson fields it, but rounding third is Liam Sutherland. He's going to come home, and the play at the plate, the throw will be too late. Sutherland scores, and it's 1-0 Brantford. Fountain advances to second, and it's a single for Spencer Jamieson, second straight in the inning, and Brantford has a lead early on. Brantford would really like, from their perspective, to get out early in this one. It has not been the season they were hoping for. They are 0-16. So normally after that I would say, they've lost however many or they've won however many in their last 10, but 0-16 doesn't require a whole lot more explanation. This is a team that really wants a win. And they have some talented players coming in, and they've been playing better lately, just haven't managed to get it. That one's on the ground with a bunt. Hoover fields it, throws on to first. Williams makes the catch and gets the first out of the inning, but both runners will advance further into scoring position for Fountain, into scoring position for Jamieson, one away. So here's Nolan Gallagher.
Second baseman number 84, Nolan Gallagher.
Gallagher joined the Brantford Red Sox in late May. Has only 18 plate appearances this season, but has an on-base average just under 400. Here it comes from Hoover. That is up and away. It's a Brantford order that hasn't been hitting so well on the season, but can still damage you if you're not careful. They've come close to a couple of wins, but the pitching just hasn't been what they've needed it to be. Garrett Larner trying to change that today. Riley Hoover trying to pitch well for the Baycats. 2-0. Big swing and a miss, 2-1. Really nice crowd, by the way, here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Stands just about full here. It's a beautiful day. As that is popped up, moving back into way foul territory behind us. Let's take a look at the weather today. Just mentioned how it's a nice day. It's 21 degrees right now. Could get up to 23, and it could go down quite a bit as the evening goes on. On a Saturday night, there is a strike. That's strike 3. Gallagher down on strikes. First strikeout for Riley Hoover. There were big strikeout totals for both teams last game. Juan Benitez on the mound struck out 10. Owen Boone, I believe, struck out 12. And Boone's sinker was just as good a pitch as we've seen all season long yesterday. Gallagher down on strikes. Here's Aiden Colangelo. His first IBL at-bat begins with the ball up and away. Colangelo DHing today. This, by the way, is one of 3 games happening in the IBL today. We'll keep you updated on the 3 as the night goes on. As that's hit off the end of the bat, right side, way foul. London is in Welland, and then Toronto is in Guelph for the other 2. Colangelo in his batting stance. Here it comes from Hoover, as that is just low. London and Welland actually only in the 3rd inning, but the game is tied at 5. So a lot of offense early in that one, and then Toronto and Guelph tied at 0. They just started the same time we did. Pitch from Hoover is hit to left center, but no, it's not going to get there. Carson Burns moves to his right, makes the catch on the run from the shortstop position, and retires the side. Brantford gets 1, but that's all they get. They strand 2. Heading to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Brantford. You're watching Baycats TV and on Rogers TV Barrie. Fans, all Saturday afternoon home games that start at 4 p.m. this season are Junior Baycats days. That means there's only 2 left to take advantage of. With the support and partnership of Rock 95, Cool FM, Barrie 360, Moonwalk Entertainment, and Dream Parties, family fun will be taken to a whole new level. The last 2 Junior Baycats days are on Saturday, July 23rd and Saturday, August 13th. You can get your tickets at barriebaycats.com. Brantford Infante steps in, leading off the bottom of the second inning, and the first pitch to him is up and in. Infante has been really good lately. The last couple of games have been on the road for the Baycats as he fouls that one back, but the last time they were at home, he was really, really good. Ready on the mound, kicks, throws. And that one's down low. Infante reached base twice in that game against London. And then the game before that, he had 2 home runs. Two-one count, here it is. And that's on the ground to third. Nice play at third as he throws it over. That's Jarrett Lupton over there. And there's one quick out.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns.
Speaking of doing well lately, we mentioned it in the open, Carson Burns has been really swinging the bat well lately. Pitch way outside by Garrett Larner. He has reached base 3 times in 4 of his last 5 games, and it was 4 of his last 4 games before yesterday. He went 0 for 3 in that game against London as he swings and misses there. But before that, he was just on fire. Count 1-1 to him. Brendan Cawley, you see there on deck. Mostly a traditional windup for Garrett Larner on the mound as he swings through that, and it's 1-2. Larner's from DeWitt, Michigan. Stands at 5'10" on the mound, a right-hander. Count 1-2 to Carson Burns. Here it is, and that's inside. Baycats have been hard at work with BarrieBaycats.com. You can now see all the theme nights right below the schedule. So if you want to be out here for one of those theme nights, you can take a look on the site to see where it is. That's a check swing. He went. They checked with the third base umpire, Chris Walker, and Burns is down on strikes. 2 quick outs for Larner out there on the mound.
The third baseman, number 17, Brendan Cawley.
So a swinging strike 3 on the check swing, and that'll bring up Brendan Cawley for the first time today. Cawley had one of the most hard-hit balls in the game yesterday in the 9th inning. He was pinch hitting, and the bases were loaded, and he lined one to third where if it had just gone an inch to the left or right, there's a ball, 1-1. If it had just gone an inch to the left or right, the Baycats would have scored a couple of runs, but it was caught at third base by the very good third baseman Gibson Krasmensky, and that was the ball game. 1-1, here it is. That's on the ground. It goes right back to Larner. He knocks it down with his feet, throws on to first. Nick Burdett makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning on a ground out, a strikeout, and a line out. Heading to the third here at Vintage Throne Stadium, still 1-0 for the Brantford Red Sox. You're listening and watching on Baycats TV and on Rogers TV in Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie, or revivemedspa.ca.
The 11th baseman, number 17, Brendan Cawley. So a swinging strike 3 on the check swing. He went 0 for 3 in that game against London. And then the game before that, he was 4 of his last 5 games. And it was 4 of his last 4 games before yesterday. The Baycats have been hard at work with BarrieBaycats.com. You can now see all the theme nights right below the schedule. So if you want to be out here for one of those theme nights, you can take a look on the site to see where it is. That's a check swing. He went. They checked with the third base umpire, Chris Walker, and Burns is down on strikes. 2 quick outs for Larner. He knocked it down with his feet, throws on to first. Nick Burdett makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning on a ground out, a strikeout, and a line out. Heading to the third here at Vintage Throne Stadium, still 1-0 for the Brantford Red Sox. You're listening and watching on Baycats TV and on
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer!
Third inning brought to you by First Aid Canada, your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. It'll be the top of the order for the Brantford Red Sox: Jesse Fishbaum, Troy Banks, and Nick Burdett. And that's the top of the order that Riley Hoover retired on 9 pitches in the first inning.
Third inning for Brantford, the center fielder, number 20, Jesse Fishbaum.
Fishbaum, a right-handed hitter, standing in as the leadoff man for the Brantford Red Sox. Red Sox have come really close to getting that first win over the last few days. First pitch to him is a strike. They lost 8-5 to Hamilton in the last game, but it was a game that was fairly close for all of it, as that one's on the ground to Brendan Colley at third. It bounced into foul territory, and he picks it up, but it's out of play. I mean, you look at the scores early on in the season, it just did not go the way Brantford wanted at all. Every game, it essentially was not close. But the last couple of games, 3-run game against Guelph, that was one they almost won. And then a 3-run game against Hamilton in a game that was close all the way through. So they're finding some chemistry and doing better on the mound. In the dirt. Count goes 1-2 to Jesse Fishbaum. Fishbaum led things off for the Red Sox yesterday in that game against Hamilton as he foul tips it and it goes down in the dirt. Dylan Shepard got a piece of it and he is down. He's up. That one's going to hurt a little bit, so the umpire gives him a second to walk it off. Fishbaum went 2 for 4 in that game with a walk and a strikeout. So he's been hitting better. It's the top of the order has been better as a whole for these Red Sox. Troy Banks, like mentioned at the start, has been a really good addition for them. Fishbaum dealing with a 1-2 count here as the umpire gives a little extra time for Dylan Shepard to recover behind the plate. Hoover kicks and throws, and that one's hit almost right back at him. Moving over is Owen Jansen at second base, throws it on to first, one away. Owen Jansen has been such a good defender over these last few games, whether he's at second base or third base.
Number 28, Troy Banks.
And it's such a good thing to see for the young infielder for the Baycats, and he's been hitting better too, and hitting with a lot of pop in that bat. Has a couple of home runs. That is popped up to left field. Moving over is Brantford Infante. Moving back now, and he can't make the play. That's going to be extra bases for Troy Banks. He rounds second. He's going to third. Moving in is Brantford Infante. The throw comes in, and he's out. Troy Banks tried to be bold and go for third on that because Brantford Infante took a little extra time picking it up. But Infante's got an excellent arm in left field, and he was able to get him in a lot of time. So Banks out trying to extend a double to a triple. It's a double, and then and out on the base paths.
Nick Burdett.
So here's Nick Burdett, and that was a decision he won't be doing again now that he's seen Brantford Infante's arm. First pitch to Burdett is inside. Everybody out there right now between Juan Familia, Jake Wilson, and Brantford Infante have good arms. Wilson's got the best speed, but Familia has a lot of range in right field as well, and Infante's got maybe the best arm of the three. Count now 2-0 to Burdett. Burdett grounded out in his first at-bat. Riley Hoover kicks and throws, and that is hit to right center field. That one's going to get down for a base hit. Moving over is Wilson into right center. Fields it, and it's a single for Burdett. So second hit of the inning, first one that will stay on base.
The right fielder, number 32, Liam Sutherland.
And now Liam Sutherland. Sutherland reached on an error by Carson Burns the first time up and scored, so it was a costly error. He's also one of the only batters alongside Banks who had 2 hits in that last game these two teams played. Hit to third, nice play by Brennan Colley. Throws to second and gets the lead runner, Nick Burdett, to retire the side and end the inning. Heading to the bottom of the third, it is still 1-0 Brantford Red Sox. You're watching Baycats TV and on Rogers TV in Barrie. Fans, the July schedule was just posted on Instagram at Barrie Baycats. You can see the entire schedule for the month by going there or to barriebaycats.com. A lot of exciting matchups. Next one coming up for Barrie at home is Thursday, July 7th, Toronto at Barrie. We've also got a couple of road games within the next couple of days for you. Full TV schedule, also available on baycats.com, barriebaycats.com. Dylan Shepard, first at bat of the game for the catcher. As first pitch is up and away to him. This is actually his first at-bat at home for the Baycats. Reached base on a hit by pitch yesterday. That was the first time he'd reached base in the IBL. Hit to left field. That one's carrying quite a bit. Carrying back at the wall. It's gone! Welcome to Vintage Throne Stadium, Dylan Shepard. It's a home run. And the Baycats tie things up at 1.
The second baseman, number 14, Owen Jensen.
A home run for Dylan Shepard in his first at-bat at home. That's a pretty cool moment. Here's Owen Jansen stepping in. We're all tied up now in the bottom of the third. It is 1-1, a brand new ball game. Owen Jansen standing in, and I was looking at the lineup today as that one's lined up the middle for a base hit. It's a single for Jansen, and he has been doing that lately a whole lot. He's another guy that has been on base just almost every time you look.
15, Jake Wilson.
Jansen almost in that reverse leadoff spot today. In the actual leadoff spot is Jake Wilson. Dylan Shepard with a big home run in his first at-bat at home for the Barrie Baycats. Runner on first, that's Jansen. First pitch to Jake Wilson is up and away. Wilson grounded out his first at-bat. Wilson actually batted 5th in that game in London. First time with the Baycats, he batted 5th. He's almost always up in the top 2 spots. Popped up, shallow left field. Not carrying that deep, moving over and making the catch is the Brantford Red Sox left fielder Spencer Jamieson, one away. So here's Juan Familia.
Fielder number 25, Juan Familia.
Familia has 2 home runs with the Baycats so far, 1 at home and 1 on the road. Larner comes home, and it's up high. Garrett Larner, that has been his issue on the mound so far this year, is not limited contacts. Coming into today, he has allowed 19 hits in only 12 innings. 3 hits already today, and we're in the 3rd inning. As that one's back, they nearly got him, but he's back in time. So Owen Jansen will be a little bit more cautious, you'd think, on the base paths now that we know that Garrett Larner has pretty good move over to first. Always adds a whole lot to the mindset when you're on the mound or when you're at first base and you know that the guy on the mound has a good move to first. Especially as a righty, you don't necessarily expect a fast one. That one's a swinging strike. Count 1-1. It's usually the lefties that can kind of fool you and move to first quickly, but as Larner just showed, it can be the righties as well. Jansen still got a pretty good lead over there at first. And Larner steps off. We have picture-in-picture for you throughout the broadcast of situations at first. Another great addition as that one's thrown back, and it's not thrown back very well to Garrett Larner. Jansen not able to advance. That picture-in-picture, another great addition to our broadcast from our producer, Brian Backlund. Familia with a 1-1 count shows bunt and pulls it back. It's a strike. Jansen does not go. Count now 1-2. Crowd chanting their support for Juan Familia. Playing in his 5th game with the Barrie Baycats, has been a quick favorite. 1-2 coming home. Big swing and a miss. Familia down on strikes.
The first baseman, number 28, Malik Williams.
So here's Malik Williams. Had a hit his last time out. It was an infield hit. Was out on a fielder's choice, and that's how the first inning ended. Has a runner on first now. That's Owen Jansen. A run already in the inning. That was on the Dylan Shepard home run. Comes home, and that one's way up and in. And that's been a problem for this Brantford pitching staff as well. We saw it with Bennett Moore, where the contacts on hit by pitches and the command up and in was a problem in that game. Count 1-0 to Malik Williams. Larner's command has been better. 1-0 coming home. That one's way outside, 2-0. At least in the sense that he hasn't been hitting as many batters. The walks are still very high for Garrett Larner, at least higher than he'd want them to be. He's averaging about a walk an inning. The average has gone down a little bit because he hasn't walked anybody in this game. 2-0. On the ground to third. Nice play to knock it down, but it gets out of the glove of Jarrett Lepton. Malik Williams is going to reach, and there's no play at second either. Baycats have 2 base runners on here in the third. Second infield hit of the game for Malik Williams.
Designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio.
Here's Rio. Rio with his 72nd plate appearance of the year right now. First pitch to him is a strike. Owen Jansen with good speed at second. Malik Williams also has good speed at first. A little bit faster at second with Jansen. 0-1 coming home from Larner to Rio, and he swings and misses that one. And it's 0-2. Lefty hitter Ryan Rio. One of the most recognizable Barrie Baycats for this crowd, who have been following for a long time. That one's hit to second, moving over and making a good play is Nolan Gallagher. Throws on to first to retire the side. Baycats and Red Sox through 3. We're tied at 1 thanks to the big fly by Dylan Shepard. Heading to the 4th here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching on Baycats TV and on Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared.
Colton Fountain will lead things off for the Brantford Red Sox here in the top of the 4th.
Off the 4th inning for Brantford, the catcher number 18, Colton Fountain.
It'll be Fountain, then Spencer Jamieson and Jarrett Lupton here in the 4th against Riley Hoover. First pitch to Fountain in there for a strike. 4th inning brought to you by Centerfield Foods, feeding fans and families at the Barrie Community Sports Complex since 2005. Fountain singled and reached to third in his first at-bat. Big swing and a miss there. Count now 0-2. Fountain raised his average from .235. Pitch outside. Fountain, a right-handed hitter, has 5 RBI on the season, and that one is popped up. Foul territory right side, and it's going to go way out of play. Hoover with a quick 3rd inning as that one's grounded up the middle. Nice play by Jansen over to Williams. One away. You just watch Owen Jansen play defense and you know it's going to be smooth, at least lately. He's been excellent out there. So here's Spencer Jamieson.
Fielder number 21, Spencer Jamieson.
Jamieson has 11 hits on the season, including today's. In the dirt, 1-0. Just saying, Riley Hoover's 3rd inning was excellent. He only gave up 1 single. Technically gave up a double, but Troy Banks kind of ruined that for himself. That one's hit to Jansen. Throw over to first. 2 outs. Couple of groundouts to second base to open up this inning, and that'll bring up Jarrett Lupton.
third baseman number 48, Jarrett Lupton.
Lupton, a lefty. All he did in the first at-bat was advance runners with the sacrifice bunt. So it wasn't a full at-bat. There's a strike to him, 0-1. Baycats did not see Jarrett Lupton in that game in Brantford. Big swing and a miss, 0-2. This game tied up on a home run from Dylan Shepard in his first at-bat here at Vintage Throne Stadium. 0-2 coming up. That one is up and away. He did have a few at-bats in an exhibition game, but not in an official IBL game. One-two count. Here it is. That is strike three. Riley Hoover strikes out Jarrett Lupton after getting a couple of groundouts. It's a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the fourth inning. Heading to the bottom. You're watching Baycats TV and on Rogers TV in Barrie.
No hits.
Brantford Infante will lead things off here in the fourth inning for the Baycats.
For the Baycats, the left fielder, number 8, Brantford Infante.
Infante grounded out his last time up, but has recently hit a 2-homer game, so all the fans still very excited to see his at-bats, and with good reason. He's hit really well this season, has a .429 on-base average with a .571 slugging, and has been such a good member of this Baycats team for so long. Playing left field today, no Noel McGarry-Doyle in the lineup. That one is up and away, or up and in rather. Count 2-0. It'll be Infante, then Carson Burns and Brendan Colley. 2-0 coming from Garrett Larner. Popped up over the catcher as he moves back a couple steps. Makes the catch. No, he drops it. Colton Fountain was under it. He was all positioned to make the catch. It got into his glove and it popped right back out again. Count goes 2-1. That'll be an error on Fountain. Count 2-1. Here it comes from Larner. And that's outside. And the important part, if you're behind the plate right now, if you're Colton Fountain, you just need to not let that affect you. On the one knee stance, here it comes. That is popped up again from Infante, this time to third base. Moving over and under it and making the catch is the third baseman, Jarrett Lupton, one away.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns.
Garrett Lupton on the mound. Or excuse me, that's wrong. Garrett Larner on the mound. Lupton's the third baseman. Pitching to Carson Burns in his 4th inning of play out there on the hill. Been pretty good overall for the Red Sox. Other than that home run, has not allowed a lot. Burns struck out swinging his first time up, and that one's on the ground, right side foul. Baycats trying to figure him out. They know he gives up a lot of hits over the season and walks more batters than he wants to, and they're trying to use that to their advantage. Kicks and throws. That's up and away. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Motions umpire Jeff Rose. It's really cool to see this Baycats batting order evolve throughout the season. As that one's up and away. You look at the impact Juan Familia and Malik Williams has had. You look at what Brantford Infante has brought. And then Brendan Colley, who has had one of the best on-base percentages that the team has. And Dylan Shepard with the power he showed tonight. It's pretty cool. And then the guys not in the order tonight have made an impact. That one's hit to right center field. That one is pretty deep, but it's going to stay in the yard. Moving over is the center fielder to his left. That's Jesse Fishbaum making the catch, 2 away.
Third baseman, number 17, Brendan Colley.
Here's Brendan Colley, mentioned just a couple of moments ago, is good on base average. First ball to him is a ball. He's a guy that you can't sneak a bad pitch beside. He will not swing at anything that's not in the strike zone. That one's down and away. He just showed it there, 2-0. Colley actually leads the team in on-base percentage, a .458, and that shows how good his eye is. There's a strike. I was talking to Josh Matlow after one of the games, and he's just on the field after a win saying that it's such a good problem to have when all these hitters are hitting so well because it makes tough decisions for the batting order. That one's fouled away. Colley has been a great addition to this team. He's in his first year with the Baycats. Played last season for the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. He was named an all-star third baseman after a championship-winning season for the team. Count goes low. It's a 3-2 count to Colley. Dylan Shepard waits on deck. Here it comes. And that is ball 4. Colley on base again. So here's Dylan Shepard.
The catcher, number 49, Dylan Shepard.
Shepard hit a big home run to left field for his first home run as a Baycat in his first at-bat here at Vintage Throne Stadium. And now he gets his second at-bat. We get to see what he does. First pitch, a strike to him. Count 0-1 to Dylan Shepard. Garrett Larner with a runner on first. He goes over and tries to pick off play, gets away from Nick Burdett. So Colley back in there safely. Shepard, a left-handed hitter, facing off against the righty Larner. Larner kicks, throws, and that one's on the ground. Right side, that one's going to get through and go all the way to the outfield. Rounding second and going to third is Colley. He's in there without a throw. Runners on the corners with 2 out now in the 4th.
The second baseman, number 14, Owen Jensen.
So here's Jansen, who singled his first at-bat. Just checking the out-of-town scoreboard once again, by the way. The London Majors have taken a 7-5 lead over the Welland Jackfish. And the Guelph Royals up 1-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Majors scoring 7 runs so far today. They scored 7 yesterday against the Baycats. That was their Canada Day game at Labatt Park. Was able to go to Labatt Park for the first time. That's hit to left field, has some elevation to it, going back at the wall, and it goes all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. Colley rounding third is Shepard. He's coming home. Throw from Troy Banks at shortstop is good. It's in time. They get Shepard, and that'll end the inning. So Shepard out at home, but the Baycats score a run. Colley comes in to score. It is 2-1, but the inning is over. Heading to the 5th, some fans not thrilled, and I don't think Josh Matlow thrilled, as we're going to stick with it just for a moment. Josh Matlow not thrilled with maybe the catcher blocking rule. We'll get some clarification on that and come back. Matlow having a conversation with Jeff Rose, but the Baycats off of the field as hitters, onto the field as defenders, and we'll take the break. Back here for the 5th inning in just a moment. You're watching Baycats TV and on Rogers TV Barrie.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Fifth inning brought to you by Etal Paving. Etal Paving for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial paving needs, providing quality service for over 37 years because you deserve the best. Bit of an interesting scene there with some of the fans questioning the umpire's use of the catcher blocking rule. Now, Dylan Shepard returning to the dugout as Josh Matlow and someone else is talking to Jeff Rose and the umpiring staff. Looks like Chris Cox out there. The infielders are gathered at second base, and there will be a new catcher. Tyler Plumpton has come in to catch, it looks like. I'm not sure why. Dylan Shepard had come out and started catching and then returned to the dugout.
Now catching for the Baycats, number 44, Tyler Plumpton.
Dylan Shepard out of the game and Tyler Plumpton into the game, which is a little bit unusual. We don't have more details on that. We'll check maybe if we can later in the break. Either way, Plumpton behind the plate now. Riley Hoover back on the mound. He'll get a few extra warm-up pitches. Tyler Plumpton, the primary catcher for the Baycats this season, and has been an excellent player both offensively and defensively. Hitting .371 on the season with a .439 on base average. And Dylan Shepard, we're hearing maybe is injured. Maybe hurt his hands. Don't want to speculate too much, but left due to injury, it certainly appears. So we hope Dylan's all right. Was having a heck of a day at the plate. Nolan Gallagher will lead things off here in the 5th inning as we return to play here at Vintage Throne Stadium. First swing a miss here in the inning, 0-1. Hoover kicks, throws. And that one's fouled back. Baycats have taken a 2-1 lead off that double by Owen Jansen. Ended up scoring Brendan Colley. And after the Red Sox took an early lead, the Baycats have scored 2 unanswered. Pitch up high. Count 1-2 to Nolan Gallagher. Here it comes. That one is hit high and far, foul left side.
Well, we're getting a poor signal to YouTube. Not sure what's going on.
Hoover ready. Glove by his chest. Now comes home. And that one's way outside, 2-2. Working quickly. Here it comes, 2-2. That is popped up. Carson Burns moving over, so is Owen Jansen. It'll be Jansen making the catch, and that's the first out of the inning. So here's Aiden Colangelo.
The designated hitter, number 31, Aiden Colangelo.
Riley Hoover having one of his better outings as a Barrie Baycat to this point. Remember that the only run scored on a batter that reached on an error. And it was not an earned run because of that. Pitch by Hoover is down low, 2-0. Colangelo lined out in his first IBL at bat earlier today. That's a strike. Colangelo wearing 31, which if you're scoring and you're only kind of familiar with the Brantford Red Sox, or you're very familiar, you'll know is normally Jacob Reed's number. There's a strike, 2-2. Was 2-0, now is 2-2. But it's Colangelo's tonight. On the ground, up the middle, Jansen moving over on the run, throws to first. Malik Williams makes the catch, and that will end the inning. No, it won't. There are 2 out. It'll almost end the inning. We're 2/3 of the way there.
Close.
Almost. Jansen makes the play, and this is Jesse Fishbaum. See, the thing is, if I had any power in this whatsoever, and I had ended the inning right there with 2 outs, not only would all of the Brantford Red Sox and their fans be mad at me, but Jesse Fishbaum, whose turn it is to hit right now, would be extra mad at me. That is popped up to right field. Familia, Williams, Jansen all going for it, but it will be Malik Williams making the catch. A tough play for the first baseman, and that will end the inning. Heading to the bottom of the fifth, still 2-1 Barrie. You're watching on Rogers TV in Barrie and on Baycats TV. Jake Wilson will lead things off here in the Baycats half of the fifth. Lefty hitter against the righty Garrett Larner. Larner kicks, throws, and that's a strike. Wilson's 0 for 2 has a ground out and a fly out. One to the right side, one to the left side. You look behind the plate at Colton Fountain as we're going to look at that line out first. Very high exit velo from Jake Wilson on that, but it was caught at second base by Nolan Gallagher, one out.
The right fielder, number 25, Juan Familia.
So here's Juan Familia. Once we go back to this main angle here on Baycats TV, I want you to take a look at Colton Fountain's catching style. Because we saw it a little bit from Dylan Shepard. A lot of modern catchers, you can see it in the middle of your frame there as the first pitch is a strike to Juan Familia. Yesterday we saw it with Dylan Shepard where there was a pitch and it was going to be low, but he was able to save it by good framing behind the plate. 0-1 is up and away. So when Colton Fountain goes down on one knee there, and it's a really, not unusual, but a more modern catching stance, he goes down on the one knee and then stretches the other one out. 1-1, down and away, 2-1. So when he gets down there, it gives him more stability, and it's able to get his glove in a more stable place. So when the ball comes in, he's able to move it quickly toward the zone a little bit more if it's a borderline pitch. 2-1. Caught and a miss, 2-2. So when a ball comes into his glove and it's borderline, he's able to move it back in the plate. Good catchers, like Colton Fountain, can move it back into the strike zone and potentially save a lot of strikes. That's a lot tougher when you're on that two-knee stance like he is right now. 2-2. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3 to Familia. The reason he switched to that stance right there is because if the ball gets away or it's dropped, he needs to get up quicker.
First baseman, number 28,
and that's the trade-off. Malik Williams stands in now. If you're on that two-knee traditional catcher stance down there, you can get up a lot quicker. You can get to passed balls or wild pitches a lot quicker if there are runners on base. But it's a lot harder to frame pitches. First pitch to Williams is a ball 1-0. And it's a lot harder to get that stability with the glove into the zone when it's a borderline pitch, so you can potentially lose out on strikes. 1-0. There's a strike. So you see a lot of modern catchers use that one-knee stance unless there's a runner on or unless it's a two-strike count and you need that extra ability to move. down and away in the dirt, 2-1. So Fountain going back and forth. If you pay attention to that throughout the evening, that's why he's doing that. Williams 2 for 2 so far with a couple of infield hits. And that's down and away. Count goes 3-1. Ryan Rio waits on deck. A line out from Jake Wilson and then a strikeout from Juan Familia to open the inning from Garrett Larner. That one's way up high and it's ball 4 to Malik Williams. He will reach. The Baycats have had a base runner in every inning except the second today.
The designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio.
Rio has a couple of groundouts. One was a fielder's choice, and the other one wasn't a fielder's choice. It was just a groundout. They both ended innings, first and third. There's a strike. Rio with big power. On base a couple of times in yesterday's ball game, in the 4th inning and the 8th inning in that game in London. Williams, you can see it in your top right, taking a lead. Cut and a miss from Ryan Rio, and the count quickly 0-2. Rio really emerged with this team in 2019, the year they won their most recent title, 0-2. And that's down and in. And he has been a key part of this team ever since. Had his best year last year, where he was the best hitter on the team. 1-2. On the ground, right side, that gets through for a base hit. He's on base for the first time today. Williams moves to second, and they have a couple runners on for Brantford Infante.
The left fielder, number 8, Brantford Infante.
Garrett Larner at 77 pitches right now. Standing on the mound with 2 on and 2 out. First pitch to Infante, up and in. Infante, the 5th batter of the inning. Ready on the hill, kicks, throws. That's a strike. Crowd, a really good one at Vintage Throne Stadium, on the edge of their seat for Brantford Infante with a runner in scoring position, another on first, and he takes a pitch outside, 2-1. Some light action in the Brantford bullpen for the first time this evening. Hit to shortstop, on the ground, goes to third for 1. He'll step on the bag and end the inning. Baycats threatened with a couple base runners, but can't get a run across. We're through 5 here, heading to the 6th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and on Rogers TV Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie, or revivemedspa.ca.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer.
Riley Hoover, through 5 innings, has allowed only 1 run on 3 hits. He has struck out 2 and faced 19 batters. Out there for inning number 6 right now, we'd like to tell you that the Baycats are holding their annual golf tournament at Innisbrook Golf Course on Thursday, August 18th at 1 p.m. This year, it's open to fans for the first time. You can head to barriebaycats.com to learn more and sign up. 6th inning brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Our house is your house.
Canadian Brew House. The Canadian Brew House. Our house is your house.
So here's Troy Banks leading things off. The very good shortstop. Doubled his last time, but was thrown out trying to stretch it to 3. Hits it to the left side. Nice diving stop by Carson Burns. Throw on to first. It's just a little bit late and a little bit low. Gets away from Williams, but Banks can't advance. It's a leadoff single in the first for Troy Banks. Nick Burdett will bat now.
First baseman number 25, Nick Burdett.
Burdett 1 for 2. Longtime member of the Brantford Red Sox. First pitch to him is a strike. Burdett lives in Brantford, Ontario. Has played for the team since 2013. Has 1,012 at-bats across 281, now 282 games. So I guess 1,012 has turned into 1,014 complete at-bats now. Has 23 home runs in that time, but 162 RBI. As they're going to send Troy Banks to second on what looks like a balk. So Hoover balks, Banks up to second, and Burdett will get a chance to reset. Burdett had 25 hits last season, 24 hits in 2019, 33 hits in 2018. He's just a guy that gets on base a lot. Always a reliable player for these Brantford Red Sox. Banks up to second on the balk. Hoover working with a 1-1 count to Burdett, and he swings and fouls it back to the screen. Riley Hoover with one of his best starts to this point as a Barrie Baycat. 68 pitches so far. Here it comes. That's inside, 2-2. Both pitchers today have done a good job at keeping the pitch count down. Just getting a little bit chillier here at Vintage Throne Stadium, by the way. As that is fouled back. Count 2-2. I've got 21 degrees, which is the same as it was at the beginning of the game, but I'm betting the humidity has gone down or something because it feels a little chillier. 2-2, yeah, down to 19 on our graphic, so it has gone down a couple. Three-2 the count to Nick Burdett, the DH for the Brantford Red Sox. Here it comes, lefty-lefty, and that one's hit to left center field. Moving over is Brantford Infante. He's under it, he makes the catch, 1 away. Liam Sutherland will bat now.
The right fielder, number 32, Liam Sutherland.
Sutherland hit into a fielder's choice in the third, reached on an error in the second, and scored the lone run so far for Brantford. That one's down. Brantford with a runner in scoring position. That's Troy Banks, one of the only hitters who has hit Barrie well. One of the only hitters who has hit Barrie well as that one heads back toward us. If there was no screen, I think I would have been able to make a catch on that one. I think so, right? I think so. Someone near me gives a nod of approval on that one, telling me, yes, you could have made the catch. And I think I could have. My confidence was very, very high. One the count. Here it comes. Up high, 2-1. Banks and Sutherland, the two hitters who had multiple hits in that last game. That game was a 13-2 win for the Baycats. 2-1, here it comes. And that's a pop-up. Second baseman, Owen Jansen moving over, makes the catch, 2 away. Banks is not able to tag on it. It was not deep enough. And now quickly 2 outs. Colton Fountain coming up.
Catcher number 18, Colton Fountain.
First pitch to Fountain is lined left field, and that's going to go foul over near the stands where Brantford fans hang out. Count 0-1. Pitch from Hoover is this time on the ground left side. Both of those hits were to the left side. First one was a line drive. That one was a ground out. Well, not an out, a ground ball, I should say. Count 0-2. Riley Hoover looking for out number 3. Popped up again. This time Malik Williams is going to get under it. Makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. Through 5.5 here in Barrie, it is 2-1 for the Baycats. You're watching on Baycats TV and on Rogers TV in Barrie.
Leading off the sixth inning for the Baycats, the shortstop, number 3, Carson Byrne.
Last of the sixth here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Barrie Baycats 2, Brantford Red Sox 1. Carson Burns at the plate right now to lead things off against Garrett Larner. Gabe Bruder has started warming up for the Brantford Red Sox. Also action in the Baycats bullpen. And that's on the ground right to Nick Burdett, who drops it but recovers it. Steps on the bag after a short run to first and a quick out in the sixth.
Third baseman, number 17, Brendan Colley.
Brendan Colley will bat now. Walked and scored his last time up. One of 2 runs for the Baycats, the other one coming on the Dylan Shepard home run. Tyler Plumpton now into the game as a defensive replacement after Shepard appeared to have injured himself on a play at the plate. He was the runner. We'll get more info on that on BarrieBaycats.com after the game. 0-1 pitch outside. Plumpton is yet to take an at-bat, so his at-bat in this inning will be his first of the game. He is on deck right now. 1-1. And that's a strike. Mentioned it yesterday on our Baycats TV radio broadcast, as that is strike 3 to Brendan Colley, who goes down. That's only the 3rd strikeout in the last couple innings. There's been 1 strikeout in every inning so far for Larner. 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 4th. I'm looking, was there 1 in the 4th? There wasn't 1 in the 4th. That kind of ruins that. But there was 1 in all the other innings. 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 1st. That's of the looking variety, 2 away. And that'll bring up Tyler Plumpton for the first time today. That was set to be such a cool moment as I'm looking back in the scorebook. 1 in each inning, but then the 4th inning happened and there was not a strikeout. But on the flip side, that means the Baycats didn't strike out in that inning, and that's a good thing. On the ground left side, that's going to go foul. Kind of looked like it would stay fair for a moment. Tyler Plumpton making his first at-bat of the game after coming in for Shepard. What a moment Dylan Shepard had earlier in this game. 3rd inning home run to lead off the inning in his first IBL at-bat at Vintage Throne Stadium. He did play yesterday. So 2nd game total, but first at home. 1-2 count to the Baycats catcher Tyler Plumpton. Plumpton with a .371 average right now. And that's strike 3. A quick 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts looking for Garrett Larner, who has his best inning of the game in the 6th. Heading to the 7th inning, it's 2-1 Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV and the Baycats on Rogers TV Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared.
is piled high on toasty hot rolls. Buy subs, save lives.
Brendan Hillier into the game now. 7th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. He'll face off against Spencer Jameson, Jarrett Lupton, and Nolan Gallagher. Second game in as many days for Hillier. Pitched yesterday in that London game. Gave up a home run, but other than that was pretty good. His ERA on the season at 2.89 has been one of the most reliable relievers out of the pen for Josh Matlow. First pitch up and away to Spencer Jameson. 7th inning brought to you by Firehouse Subs, Barrie and Aurelia. Only top quality freshly sliced meats and cheeses piled high on toasty hot rolls. Buy subs, save lives. Pitch from Hillier to Jameson is a strike, 1-1. Riley Hoover ended up going 6 excellent innings. Only gave up 4 hits, did not give up an earned run, as that is foul over to the Brantford dugout. And that's why there's guards on those dugouts. Count 1-2. He struck out 2, did not walk anybody, and he gave Josh Matlow exactly what he was looking for in this start. Hoover, overall this season, you might not know it by the ERA, but that's one of those instances where ERA is not the stat you want to be looking at. That is strike 3 to Spencer Jameson, and that is the first out of the inning.
Third baseman, number 48, Jarrett Lupton.
Riley Hoover might not have big strikeout numbers. He only struck out 2 today, but he generates a lot of weak contact when he's on, and he can give you some strong innings. We've seen it several times this year. Once he gains more and more consistency, as he becomes more experienced in this league, he's going to be a better and better pitcher. And we're already seeing flashes of the Riley Hoover we could be seeing for a long time with this team. First pitch up and away to Jarrett Lupton, 1-0. Lupton 0 for 2 has a sacrifice bunt and a strikeout, so officially 0 for 1, but hasn't been on base in 2 at-bats today. 1-0 is a strike, 1-1. No shift for Lupton, as that's a check swing on a pitch inside. He definitely went on that one, and the count goes 1-2. Sometimes you need extra looks to see if a batter goes on a check swing. You didn't on that one. Hillier's pitch is inside, 2-2. Count 2-2. The sun has not really started to set. It's just starting, but it hasn't really started to set that much. Big swing and a miss. Jarrett Lupton down on strikes. 2 quick strikeouts for Brandon Hillier. So he gets Jameson, and then he gets Lupton, and that'll bring up Nolan Gallagher. Fans, Baycats Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Baycats. From jerseys, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and fan gear, Baycats Shop has it all. Visit shopbaycats.com today or follow on Instagram at shopbaycats. There's also a tent during home games where you can see all the merch. You can get different shirts with Carson Burns and different players on the back. It's pretty cool. You can also come to the ballpark and get Vintage Throne Stadium merch, which is also very cool. 1-0 pitch is right in the middle for a strike, 1-1. Hillier pitching very well right now. Kicks and throws. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. Hillier now a pitch away from striking out the side. He struck out Spencer Jameson swinging. He struck out Jarrett Lupton swinging. Can he strike out Nolan Gallagher swinging? Not on that pitch. 2-2. And if you ask Brandon Hillier right now, he won't care if it's swinging or looking. He just wants the strikeout. 2-2. Here it comes. Out of play. Foul into the trees. For the Baycats in the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Owen Jansen, then Jake Wilson and Juan Familia. Barrie has a one-run lead right now. It's a 2-1 ball game. Nolan Gallagher ready. Brandon Hillier ready. Comes home, and it's in the dirt, and we'll go full 3-2. Aiden Colangelo waits on deck. Baycats only used 3 pitchers yesterday, Benitez, Russell, and Hillier. So the bullpen's fairly well rested. Here it comes from Hillier, and that is on the ground, foul behind the plate. We saw Chris Cox earlier. Wonder if we could see him later on. Evan Souls, who was a late inning guy for a lot of this season, they're trying to stretch out as a starter, so they'd very much like to avoid using him and then maybe use him in the next couple of days because it is a big stretch of games. 3-2. Hit to center. Jake Wilson moving over. On the run, makes the catch and ends the inning. Baycats have a 2-1 lead heading to the bottom of the 7th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Time to stretch. Back in a moment on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Hitting for the Baycats, the second baseman, number 14, Owen Jansen.
Owen Jansen leads things off in the last of the 7th inning. It'll be Jansen, then Jake Wilson, and Juan Familia as the sun begins to set here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Thanks so much for joining us here on Baycats TV. Patrick Melbourne with you. Ben Davey off today. He'll be back for the next home game. That's in just a few days on Thursday. Toronto is in town. Baycats are going to play a couple of road games before that, though. We'll give you more details on the schedule as the game goes on. Pitch is just going to be a strike to Owen Jansen. Looked a little bit inside from this angle, but it was good enough for Jeff Rose, who's calling the balls and strikes today and has done generally a good job behind the plate, I think. Count 1-1. And that is low, 2-1. Before that Toronto game on Thursday, Barrie will have a road game tomorrow in Hamilton. That's at 2:00 p.m. And they have another road game in Guelph. That's on the 5th at 7:30. You can catch both those games on Baycats TV. Goes inside, count now 3-1. And some would argue it should be already a walk. Jansen has a good eye, has good power. Might be swinging on 3-1. Here it is. Center field, that one's pretty deep. Moving over is the center fielder. It is way beyond both of them and going all the way to the wall. Jansen's thinking 3 right off the bat. Throw comes in, Jansen slides, and he's out. Andrew White throws up his hands in frustration. Owen Jansen also frustrated. And for the second time today, an IBL player has had a double and tried to stretch it into 3, and it has not worked for either of them. A double for Owen Jansen. He is thrown out at third trying to extend it. Pitch to Wilson is popped up, left side. It's going to go out of play though. Jansen really hoping for that triple. That would have made him just a home run away from the cycle. I believe that'll be called a double, his second of the game. And he was not able to stay at second in either one. In his last double, Dylan Shepard ran in third, came home, and was out at the plate. Pitch to Wilson up and away, and that ended that inning. So a couple of doubles, but neither one resulted in another at-bat where Owen Jansen was standing at second base. Count now 2-1 to Jake Wilson. So they're calling it a double and then a 8-6-3 putout to retire Jansen running for third. Or an 8-6-5 rather. Fouled right side, it'll be even at 2. Center fielder to the shortstop to the third baseman. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jake Wilson at the plate. Here in the bottom of the 7th, pitch from Garrett Larner is a ball, 3-2. Patrick Melbourne here with you at Vintage Throne Stadium. Brian Backlund, our producer. Gary Mason, our statistician. Troy Wellington doing the graphics and video board today. And then our PA announcer is Rob Daniels. Big swing and a miss from Jake Wilson. It's a strikeout for the second out of the inning, 2 away.
Right fielder number 25, Juan Familia.
Garrett Larner's done a good job today overall through 6 2/3. Has only allowed 2 runs. Has allowed 8 hits, but has struck out 7. But he's done a really good job against the top of the order so far. The first 2 hitters in the order are 0 for 7 so far against Larner. First pitch from Larner to Juan Familia, and now they are 1 for 8 as Familia hits it for a single. He's thinking about still going because they were slow to get it back into the infield, but he goes back to first. Base hit for Juan Familia, and there's 1 on with 2 out. Williams has reached base all 3 times. A couple of infield hits and a walk. This is one of those rare games where both teams have had a good offensive approach, but the pitching has also been good to keep that offensive approach at low scoring results. It's only a 2-1 game, but both offenses have looked pretty good, but both pitchers on the mound who started this game looked excellent. Larner's still out there. That's a strike. Count 0-1 to Malik Williams. Riley Hoover's outing is done today. He went 6, allowed only 1 run on 4 hits, did not allow an earned run. He was brilliant. And Brandon Hillier with the scoreless inning after that. Garrett Larner keeping his team in the game. Count now 0-2 to Malik Williams. Runner on first. That's Juan Familia. You can see it in the top right of your screen, taking a lead. Not a huge one at the moment. Pitch to Williams is fouled back. Oh-2 coming from Garrett Larner. Runner goes. That's low for a ball, and the runner, Juan Familia, will go to second without a throw. I think maybe the catcher, Colton Fountain, thought that was a strike and didn't get up quickly enough to get Familia at second, but Familia's got good speed anyway, so they might have just let him go, hoping to get the strike on this pitch anyway. Baycats hoping to add a runner in scoring position now, and that one's in the dirt. Gets away, but it's held nicely by Fountain in front of him. So the count goes 2-2, but most importantly for the Red Sox, the ball stayed in front of the catcher, and Familia was able to stay at second. For the Baycats, man, they'd like a big hit here to extend that lead. Williams taking the lead off second. Larner looks back at him, now comes home. That is inside, and we're full at 3-2. What a moment in this ball game here. A runner in scoring position in the bottom of the 7th inning. Baycats up by 1 right now. And a 3-2 count to the 3-hitter Malik Williams. Here it is, and it's a foul tip right into the glove of Colton Fountain to end the inning. Baycats still lead by 1 as we head to the 8th. You're watching the Barrie Baycats on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Fans, Baycats tickets are now available for every game at Vintage Throne Stadium this season. Head to barriebaycats.com/tickets to buy online or find a location close to you to find deals today. 8th inning brought to you by Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping, servicing Simcoe County for all of your landscaping needs. That's Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping. Aiden Colangelo will lead things off against Brandon Hillier in his 2nd inning of work out of the bullpen for Barrie. It'll be Colangelo in the top of the order with Fishbaum and Banks. Colangelo hits it foul right side, heads up. Bring your glove and keep an eye on the ball. Hillier comes home and it's inside. Taking a look at the bullpens right now, it doesn't look like there's a lot of action in either one. So we saw Gabe Bruder earlier for the Brantford Red Sox. Hillier was the reliever we saw warming in the other one. You'd think it'll be Hillier this inning and then maybe Brad Grieveson in the next one. 1-2 the count. Aiden Colangelo in his first IBL game swings through that one. It's a strikeout, and Hillier has struck out 3 already in this outing. When Brandon Hillier is on, and he's on most of the time, he has nasty stuff. Seen it today with 3 swinging strikeouts and a flyout.
Number 20, Jesse Fishbaum.
That'll bring up Jesse Fishbaum, center fielder. He's 0 for 3 today. The leadoff hitters in this game are a combined 0 for 7. Pops up, well, foul. Hillier kicks, throws. That's a strike, 0-2. Fans getting behind Brandon Hillier. 0-2 count to Jesse Fishbaum, who is 0 for 3, and he grounds it to first base. Malik Williams has it. Calls everybody off as he brings it to the bag himself. 2 away. That's the third ground out today for Jesse Fishbaum, and he is 0 for 4.
Shortstop number 28, Troy Banks.
Now Troy Banks, the shortstop, who has 2 hits today. He had that double where he was thrown out going for third, and then he had a single where he made it to second on a balk. The most impressive part of Hillier's performance so far is he has 3 strikeouts, has retired all 5 batters, and that was only his 25th pitch of the appearance. He has been absolutely dominant today so far. Hits to left field. Moving back is Infante. He's under it. Makes the catch. And that will end the inning. Brandon Hillier, 2 amazing innings out of the bullpen. As we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, Baycats still up by 1. You're watching Baycats TV and on Rogers TV in Barrie. Gabe Bruder in the game, 9th appearance for him. Has an ERA just under 10 at the moment. He's 0-4. The big thing against him at the moment is his tendency to give up doubles. He has given up 7 doubles. He's also given up 9 walks in those 19 innings. So he has been a little bit inconsistent out of the pen for Brantford, hoping to change that today. Baycats hoping to take advantage of that at the plate. It's the heart of the order. Ryan Rio, Branfy Infante, and Carson Burns coming up right here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That one's fouled away. Fans, the newly redesigned BarrieBaycats.com features more highlights, more game day info, and a brand new spoiler-free TV feed. Head to BarrieBaycats.com now to get the whole game day experience. Pitch to Rio is fouled back. Goes down the line, third base side on the ground. Well out of play. Rio 1 for 3 is grounded out twice and singled. Bruder kicks, throws. Up and away. Count now 1-2. Mosquitoes starting to arrive at Vintage Throne Stadium, by the way. If anybody wants a behind-the-scenes look at what's going on in the broadcast booth, 1-2 is inside, 2-2. 2-2 the count. Here it comes. And that is down and in, and it's full 3-2. A really good appearance overall for Garrett Larner, his best in the IBL by a lot. 3-2 the count to Ryan Rio. Here it is, and that is outside ball 4. Rio on for the second time today, and that's one of the things that has been a problem for Bruder out of the bullpen.
Number 8, Brantford Infante.
Already the 10th walk this season for Bruder. Looking at Larner's appearances, he gave up 6 runs in Welland, 4 runs in Hamilton, and technically gave up 7 runs in Guelph, although none of those were earned. So I'm not sure what happened there. It was an eventful game by the sound of things, but he had a 7.50 ERA entering today. He was 0-2, walked more than he struck out entering today, gave up more hits than innings by a lot, but tonight he really figured it out. 7 strong innings, gave up only 2 runs, struck out 8 and walked 2. Exactly what the Brantford Red Sox wanted, except those 2 runs. Well, the team has only scored 1 run. So they're down 2-1. The Baycats up 2-1, and they're saying thank you very much for those 2 runs. Here it is. Infante on the line, third base side. That's caught. Throw over to first. Gets away from Nick Burdett. It almost was a double play, but Brad McQuinn, the pinch runner, able to get back in time. Huge exit velocity from Brantford Infante, but it's a line out.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns.
And that was almost the same exact hit we saw Brendan Colley hit yesterday in the 9th inning in London. Where if it just goes an inch to the left or an inch to the right, it is a big hit, but as it was a line out. Here's Carson Burns. 1 on, 1 out. Up and away to Burns. 0 for 3 today. Brad McQuinn, by the way, has pretty good speed at first base. He pinch ran for Ryan Rio. Count 2-0 to Burns. Baycats hoping for a big inning here, and everybody around Vintage Throne Stadium hoping for a big inning here against the reliever Gabe Bruder. Sometimes you run into a big starting pitcher who you can only have so much success off of. That was the type of pitcher Larner was today. Big swing and a miss from Carson Burns, 2-1. But now you can look at the bullpen as a brand new opportunity. Baycats hoping for an extension of this lead. They've had a 2-1 lead for quite a while in this game. In fact, since the bottom of the 4th inning, they've had that lead. Throw over to first, McQuinn back safely. It's just that these 1-run leads are tense, aren't they? 2-1. Brendan Colley on deck. Burns ready at the plate, left-handed hitter against the right-handed Bruder. Hit off the end of the bat to the third baseman, dives, makes a nice play, throw over to first. They got Burns. Jarrett Lupton with the nice play. McQuinn up to second, 2 away.
Third baseman, number 17, Brendan Colley.
So here's Brendan Colley. Colley walked and scored in the 4th, has also struck out and lined out. We were talking how good Brendan Colley has been at getting on base today. And he has been really good at getting on base all season long. And he showed that with that at-bat in the 4th. 2 outs in the 8th. Runner on second. Pitcher kicks, throws, and it's a strike. Looks back at the runner. Still looking back, now comes home. And that's hit up the middle. It's on a bounce for Troy Banks, throwing on to first. A bit of a high throw, but not high enough to be a problem. Nick Burdett makes the catch, and that ends the inning. Ryan Rios singles, and the Baycats can't do anything else. Just double checking that. I believe Ryan Rio actually walks. He did walk. Ryan Rio walks, but the Baycats go 1-2-3 after that. Heading to the ninth inning, it is a one-run game. Baycats up 2-1. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie, or revivemedspa.ca.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer!
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. Patrick Melbourne in the broadcast booth with you. It has been an interesting game for the entire thing, a very, very close game. It's a 2-1 game right now. We've seen good pitching from both sides. Garrett Larner for the Brantford Red Sox, as well as for the Barrie Baycats between Riley Hoover and Brandon Hillier. It has been an excellent pitching performance. Now we get to see how it concludes right here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. Chris Cox in from the bullpen to close it out. We'll see how it goes. So Cox taking his final warm-up pitches. Tyler Plumpton throws it to second. And this game just about to get underway for that ninth inning. Ninth inning brought to you by Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping. Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping, servicing Simcoe County for all of your landscaping needs.
Leading off the ninth inning for Brantford.
Brantford will see Nick Burdett, Liam Sutherland, and Colton Fountain in the ninth inning. And they'll be facing off against Chris Cox, the very good right-handed pitcher. First pitch to Burdett is a ball, 1-0. Cox this season has pitched in 6 appearances. This is 7th. That's a strike. Cox, who actually pitched for these Brantford Red Sox for a little while in 2016. Cox has not given up a run in 3 of his last 4 appearances. Line, first base side, and a jump by Malik Williams, making the catch, 1 out. What a job by Malik Williams defensively for the Barrie Baycats in this game.
Number 32, Liam Sutherland.
It's so comforting when you're a coach or a defender or a pitcher when you know that the rest of your defense has your back. And today the defense for the most part has had the team's back, especially from Owen Jansen and Malik Williams. Big swing and a miss from Liam Sutherland, 0-1. Sutherland 0 for 2. That's a strike. Officially 0 for 3, but reached on that third at-bat as part of an error. Count 0-2 to him. And that's a ball outside, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Liam Sutherland. Here it comes, outside, and the count is 2-2. The The Baycats will be using their pitchers very carefully over the next few days. They have 7 games in the first 10 days of July. Count 2-2. Here it comes from Cox. Hits a left field. That one's pretty deep, and that one's a no-doubter off the bat of Liam Sutherland. We are tied. Sutherland, who had 2 hits in that game in Brantford, one of only 2 batters, has just hit a home run, tied things up. It is 2-2, and all of a sudden a brand new ball game in Barrie.
The catcher, number 18, Colton Fountain.
Sutherland with a no-doubt home run to left field, and that'll bring up Colton Fountain. Second home run of the game between these 2 teams. And that's a strike, 0-1. Fountain today has popped out, grounded out, and singled. He reached third on that in that inning after that single. Count now 0-2 to Fountain. Fouled straight back at us. Thankfully, there's a screen in the way. Oh-2 coming up. Here it comes from Cox, and that is upstairs. The game, which has just reached 20 after 9 p.m. Now tied, but Colton Fountain will go down on strikes for the second out in the top of the 9th. So here's Spencer Jamieson. Jamieson 2 for 3. Has a single. That was all the way back in the second inning as part of a inning that saw 2 straight singles after an error. Jamieson has since grounded out and struck out. First pitch, a foul ball, again back to the screen, this time with a little bit more elevation and a little bit further to the left. At least from my position. From the camera position, it was further to the right. A great job by our production team led by Brian Backlund to get this camera up and running. It is so cool to see different angles, and we've been able to see some great highlights from it. 1 ball, 1 strike to Spencer Jamieson here in the 9th inning. There are 2 out. Chris Cox on the mound, kicks, throws inside, gets behind the catcher, but nobody's on base, so nobody cares. It's a little bit of an informal way of saying it, but I'm not really wrong. Count 2-1. Lefty against the righty pitcher. Here it is. Off the end of the bat, left side, and it goes into the trees. Here's a parking lot over there, and that's not where you want to park. Two balls, 2 strikes. Chris Cox to Spencer Jamieson. Here it is. And another foul ball. Really good at bat from Spencer Jamieson now. This is the 6th pitch of the at-bat. 3 foul balls and a couple of balls. Count 2-2. Here it comes from Chris Cox. On the ground, third base. Brendan Colley makes a diving play, but he's not going to have enough time to get Jamieson at first base. It'll be an infield single, but a heck of an attempt by Brendan Colley over there at third base.
Third baseman number 48, Jarrett Lupton.
Jarrett Lupton will bat now. He's 0 for 3. The go-ahead run now at first base for the Red Sox with 2 out in the 9th. Currently tied as Lupton fouls that away. The 6th pitch at bat to Spencer Jamieson. And he's on first now after the base hit. That one's fouled back. Guys are getting contact off those pitches from Chris Cox, but mostly are fouling them off. I say mostly because there's a single in there and there's a big home run in there. A no doubt home run from Liam Sutherland. 0-2. Hit to Colley again. This time he's got it, throws on to first. It's a nice throw. It's a nice catch by Malik Williams, and it ends the inning. So we're tied heading to the bottom of the ninth. Baycats hoping to walk things off. We'll be back in just a moment here on Baycats TV and on Rogers TV Barrie. Tyler Plumpton will lead things off for the Baycats in the ninth inning. It'll be Plumpton, Jansen, and Wilson. Here we go, Baycats is the chant here in the bottom of the ninth against Gabe Bruder and the Brantford Red Sox. Pitch goes low to Plumpton. Plumpton only has the one at-bat today after substituting in for Dylan Shepard. Pitch from Bruder. That's a strike. 1-2. Gabe Bruder came in last inning and had one of his best innings of the season. Walked one, but otherwise a quick inning. Tyler Plumpton, who has a high batting average, trying to make things work for the leadoff hitter for the Baycats. That's through for a base hit. Tyler Plumpton raises that batting average. 371 entering today, and he's on base again.
Second baseman number 14, Owen Jansen.
So now here's Owen Jansen. Jansen has been on base all 3 times tonight. From a technical standpoint, he doubled twice, but was not standing at second after either of those plays. The first one, Dylan Shepard was thrown out at home, so that ended the inning. And the second one, he was thrown out trying to extend it to a triple. Pitch to Jansen, shows bunt, pulls it back. And it's 0-1. The bugs, as prevalent as they have been at Vintage Throne Stadium, by the way, right now. Oh, 0-1 to Owen Jansen, showing bunt again, and that one kind of got a piece of him as it went by. It'll be a strike since it was a bunt. Runner goes to second. Will they make him go back to first? It doesn't look like it. So it didn't get the bat, it just hit him on the way. I think he should be going back to first base, Tyler Plumpton, because either way, if it hit Owen Jansen or hit the bat, either way, the runner should be going back to first, shouldn't he? It seems like it should be a dead ball. So the runner, you would think, has to go back to first unless it didn't get him. Umpire must be calling it did not get him, although I feel like I heard something. So Plumpton's allowed to stay at second. That's interesting. Did it go off the catcher's glove? Just hearing that now on the replay, it went off the catcher's glove. So that's why Plumpton allowed to advance. Correct call made. Count now 2-1 to Owen Jansen. Thanks to Gary Mason for that. That was a tough one to catch, so I'm glad Gary caught that. Runner on second, nobody out here in the ninth. A hit for the Baycats to score the run, wins it. Big swing and a miss from Owen Jansen, and it's even at 2-2. Jansen stands back in. Count 2-2 here in the bottom of the ninth. Nobody out. The score is tied at 2. Gabe Bruder ready. Looks in for a sign. He's got it. Looks at the runner. Kicks and throws. Jansen on the ground. It gets by the first baseman, Nick Burdett. Rounding third is Plumpton, and the Baycats win it. The Baycats win it in the ninth. A base hit from Owen Jansen scores Tyler Plumpton, and Barrie wins 3-2 over the Brantford Red Sox. The team celebrates, and that was a hard-earned win. These teams were back and forth all night long. Garrett Larner and Riley Hoover were brilliant as the starting pitchers, but Barrie is the team that ends up winning. We'd like to thank you for watching this broadcast on Rogers TV Barrie and Baycats TV. We'll have more coverage for you after the game on BarrieBaycats.com. A walk-off hit by Owen Jansen wins it, and the Baycats improve to 12-9 on the season. I'm Patrick Melbourne. Have a fantastic rest of the day. The Baycats win it. Thank you very much for watching.